make a crayon pumpkin today.
Yep. And Daddy got an awesome deal at Aldi's, right?
Yes.
The pumpkin was only $3 for this really big pumpkin.
It's so big.
So big. And so it was, Kenzie's been bugging to do jack-o'-lanterns, but it's too soon in the season because it'll rot out.
And there's so much, it's big, so we could do all the colors.
So we're going to do all the colors. So the first step in doing this is to take all the paper off the crayons.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. All right, next crayon, please.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing it right close to where the stem would be, and I'll show you. Because I want the colors to drip down the pumpkin and not just pool right there.
Now I'm going to do a couple blacks and a couple whites.
Okay. And that'll make it gray. If they mix, I don't know if they'll mix. They may not. This glue is starting to harden because I unplugged it, which actually worked a little bit better because the black one just wants to melt. The different colors are weird. Oh, black. The white had no problem. It's like the darker the color, the hotter it is to get it to the black does not want to stay. Just so you guys can kind of see what we're doing. And this is where the black kept falling off. And so we'll do a red one next.
This one.
And so we're just going to completely go around the pumpkin like that. And then after we melt these, we'll add like another layer of crayon.
So, you know, we're going to do a blow dry. It's safe. So you got to do this if you want it.
All right, so that's our all the way around.
And we're going to do the bottom too.
Yep, Kenzie's going to vlog. She's going to watch her fingers because her fingers are blocking, right?
Yeah.
So
I can see it.
And it's going to be on high heat. I'm going to start with low because
I can see it melting.
All right, so I have a few tips because as you can see with the mess, it's not as simple as that Facebook video that shows them doing it in like 2 seconds. Look, so here's my tip. Put the blow dryer on the end, and then as it's melting, push down on the crayon so that the end of the crayon is touching the pumpkin. It's not hot. If you've ever had like a paraffin wax treatment, it's about the same. It's not hot at all, but the heat is actually the blow dryer. So if you can blow dry your hair, you can handle that, you can do this. Then, when the tip is the crayon's completely melted and you're left with just this ridge, then blow it from this end. So when you're doing just this part of the crayon, blow directly down. It stops you from getting a lot of this spatter. And then fold it down as soon as you can to touch the pumpkin, because that's going to get rid of a lot of this dripping, and you're going to get way better like looking drips. As you can see kind of over here, it's a lot better. Alright, so then when you do that, the ends stick up because the pumpkin is wider than the base. So you can just lightly blow dry the ends and stick it to the pumpkin. What we're going to do is add more crayons to this level and blow dry it again in hopes that it'll cover more of it. And the cool thing about this is if you don't like it, it literally just peels right off. So you can try again. I suggest only using 3 colors instead of Mackenzie's tons of colors, but you know, it's her creativity. So if she likes it with the tons of colors, that's good. Still beautiful pumpkin, but I would use just 3 colors on very different ends of the spectrum, the color spectrum, so that way it really kind of stands out and pops. But that's just what I would do, but I think Kenzie's pumpkin's going to look really pretty when it's done. Guys, so this is what it looks like with the first layer done. Now, a couple of things. Where the hot glue is, you can see it. It's like a raised thing. That's not melting with the hairdryer. So my thought process behind this, if I were to do it again, I would actually make a design on the pumpkin out of hot glue. And then use 1 or 2 colors, and you'll be able to see a face or a spider web or something like that. And it would be kind of neat. The other thing is, where it's dripping, if you apply more heat to certain areas, you can kind of spread it out more so you don't just have these drips. And you can kind of mix colors and make cool like swirls if you do a light and a dark near each other. If you do 2 darks, it kind of just looks brown and it's not as pretty. But certain aspects of it I think are really awesome. And I'm going to add some more crayons to it, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Alright guys, Kenzie, put your face in. It's not hot anymore. We are gonna leave it at this because the more we add colors, because we did a whole bunch of rainbows, it's really starting to turn like brownish and icky. But what I did learn is if you do the solid color on top and then you started to melt a white crayon in it, you're getting these really awesome swirls, and it looks really cool. That's okay. And it looks really cool. So I think if I were to do it again, I would choose a smaller pumpkin, and I would choose 2 dark colors and then go through, yeah, because you can see it's like all over my kitchen like this. Then I would go through with a white and kind of melt the white into a swirl, because then the color underneath is melting too, so then it's swirling, which is kind of cool. So we hope you guys have a blessed day, and give us a thumbs up and subscribe.
You will learn how to do this at home.
Right, but choose a smaller pumpkin, right?
Yeah.
This took way too many crayons and it only got the top done. Which, it's still fun and it's still pretty, and I love it. I think you did a very good job creating it, Kenzie. Can you look at your subscribers? Say have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day. Do 26 subscribers.
We need 26 new subscribers from this video. Alright guys, you heard the lady. Subscribe.